Hi, I'm Sarah from The Upcoming. A real pleasure to speak to you today, coming into season 2 of Surface. I guess we've got a bit of continuity in terms of the moody vibes, the mystery, but I feel like we've kind of gone a bit more into thriller territory, and there's definitely an upping of the ante. What did you want to do with the second season following Sophie to London?
Look, we always knew, Gugu as a British actress playing Sophie as British, that she never talked about her past in season 1, and she had crossed an ocean to run away from something. So as soon as we landed her back in her hometown, even though it's a hometown she doesn't remember and everything's new, we knew that she would face just completely different stakes and a much more dangerous world than she was in San Francisco. So it necessitated a different tone of the show, and I think it was exciting for us to watch season 1 and say, what can we do even better? How can we make this more exciting? How can we pull the twists up and make this faster paced and just honor kind of the cast and the story that we have to tell?
And one of the things that I really love about this season is she's so active. I think that the first season, necessarily because of the plot, there was a lot of reacting, but we really wanted to sort of put our foot on the accelerator this season and make her very active. But she is so active that she finds herself in over her head quickly, and I think that's really the fun of it.
And working with Gugu in particular, I mean, obviously she's also on board as executive producer, so you're collaborating in more ways than one, but she's just endlessly watchable, and she just seems to manage to skirt this line. I think she's always having to put on a bit of a performance, but we're having to know that there's so much going on underneath and this search for identity going on underneath. What was it like working with her as your protagonist?
Yeah, I mean, Sophie is undercover in this entire season. Nobody knows who she really is. She can turn a corner and run into someone who recognizes her, who she wronged in some way. She's always everyone else is ahead of the game, and she's always trying to catch up. So you get to see that calculation going on in her eyes all the time. And without an actress as formidable as Gugu, I don't think you'd be able to emotionally connect with her the way that we can. But because she's so excellent in the role and has been so involved from the beginning, it really shines.
I also think it's wonderful having her as our producing partner because she's really a partner in all of the things. But as we're developing the script, she's weighing in and she's asking incredibly smart questions. And she's also having insights where she sort of says, like, oh, that's interesting that Sophie's doing this here, but what if she did this or what if she did that? And I think it just really helps us to make the character more complex and all of the circumstances more interesting.
She always comes from a place of story, and all the questions she has as she's preparing for the performance and the scene of the day, she's always coming from a deep place of story. So that just makes her a natural storyteller and a natural as a collaborator and producer in the story process.
And I was thinking, what I love about shows like this is obviously, you're pulled into the thriller aspects and not the mystery and not knowing what's going to happen next. But it does also seem to tap into this kind of curiosity or envy we have for the upper classes. And, are their lives as perfect as they seem? And maybe there is something sort of cathartic or interesting to us as viewers to realize that actually, no, they're usually not. So do you think that's also part of kind of the underlying pull of the series?
I mean, I think that was a huge opportunity for us in coming to London. We sort of realized we could get a glimpse into a world that we've not really been able to glimpse in this way before. And I think, again, because we're emotionally invested in Sophie, we're rooting for her, but we're seeing that this world is so much bigger than she is. And people are going to take her down if she tries to get in their way. And I think that helps. The stakes are really cool.
Yeah, the journalist character played by Gavin Drea, who is Callum in the show, was kind of based on Ronan Farrow in a way, and just these, in America especially, people doing these investigations, shining a different light on the 1% and really wanting to kind of even that playing field. And that's where his character comes from, which just brings in a totally different point of view as we get to know the Huntleys personally and Sophie's connection to them.
And it seems no surprise that it's part of the Hello Sunshine production company. And I do think that maybe we are in a kind of new frontier of television where we do have these really complex, fascinating female characters leading series. Do you feel like that's also a moment we're in and a show can really be a part of that frontier?
I mean, that's the reason we exist. We always want to put women at the center of every story that we're telling, and we want to showcase them as the heroes of their own stories in really unique and unconventional ways. And I think, Gugu is so magnificent as Sophie because she is both a hero and a villain. I think she's an instigator in the most interesting way, and we deeply care about her, but sometimes we don't know how to feel about her, and I think that that's something that we don't always see in television. So we're so proud of this show, and we just love being a part of it.
Amazing. I think I'm out of time, but thank you so much for sharing all that with
Thank
me.
you.
Can't wait
Thank
for everyone else to
you.
see the second season of Surface. Thanks a lot.
It's really nice to meet you.